Hello, Bella.
Oh!
Bud.
Blood.
Bud.
Blood.
Yeah, this is now the best film I've seen for 2024, but the benchmark was always low with Night Swim. So we have Poor Things, and the plot is about a woman who commits and is found by a mad scientist. He experiments by replacing her brain with a baby's brain to raise a woman child. A bit like Frankenstein meets Jack. Remember that film with Robbie Williams? But she's obviously going to start developing the brain in some shape or form. And for story purposes, we keep fixated on this stage, Freud style. And here we have our film.
I find myself merely jealous of the men's time with you, rather than any moral aspersion against you. It is your body, Bella Baxter, yours to give freely.
I generally charge 30 francs.
Well, that seems low.
Now, the screenplay is written by Tony McNamara, who has previously worked with Emma Stone on Cruella and The Favourite. And the screenplay is really good. I really enjoyed reading that dialogue. It was funny. I was more impressed with the delivery of the dialogue in the final product, which is directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, who has also worked with Tony and Emma on The Favourite. Our director Yorgos here has a serious back catalogue of boundary-pushing material, and he isn't afraid to test one's patience with some hard-hitting content, made in a way that is, it's quite comical. I look at The Lobster, and the film is already outrageous, with the premise being that if you don't find a love on this resort, you change into an animal of your choosing. And once we hit the 45-minute mark in that film, you're in for one crazy ride. I think it's the love story between Colin Farrell and Rachel Weisz that really got my blood boiling. And I mean, the ending, it was like Usual Suspects, but just more personal. It was good. Very good ending. But you're left feeling shocked, but also like, oh my God, that's outrageous.
You will confine yourself to 3 phrases. How marvelous, delighted, and how do they make the pastry so crisp, yes?
His movies seem to be very philosophical and can definitely be seen as quite pretentious. But I enjoy where his films travel to. The journey is generally long-winded with him, but come the end of the movie, I'm always satisfied. Like the ending of The Lobster, like I previously mentioned. The Favourite finished strongly, and so does Poor Things. Now, actors-wise, Poor Things stars Emma Stone. You know, from those great 2 Spider-Man films with Andrew Garfield. Emma Stone is basically Frankenstein. She's called Bella Baxter. Film is set in a ye olde world with flying random things. We visually get one serious trip when we're watching this film. I don't know whether it's CGI or practical effects. Either way, it looks really good. The interior stuff has all the trimmings of The Favourite, like the fisheye lens stuff being a good example.
There's unbelievable production design, cinematography, score, just so much about it. It's kind of larger than life.
Sorry, Emma Stone's Bella Baxter. So she starts off as a child in the brain. You can tell that with the way she's talking, the way she's acting. But it's once Mark Ruffalo's character starts to get involved and we start to see a development in Bella, and she starts to quickly learn what the world is about.
You're always reading now, Bella. You're losing some of your adorable way of speaking.
I got to say, William Dafoe was really good in this movie as well, and has quite a heartbreaking backstory. The 18 rating is justified, I'd say, from the BBFC. Like, there's a few C words thrown in, but it's the and there is a reasonable amount of furious jumping, shall we say.
The film itself is quite funny, so a lot of the times we enjoyed it.
And I've had a few friends come out to me and say that they found this very disturbing, these scenes where Emma Stone is acting as a child and having untold desires performed on her. But watching the scenes, for me, I felt like Ruffalo's character had no idea she had a child's brain, and it was more comedy. It was on the lines of a Chris Morris episode of Jam.
What do you keep doing that for?
A man over there repeated blinks at me. I blinked back. For polite, I think.
I saw it being more of an awkward comedy rather than it being jaw-dropping uncomfortable viewing. And I hope people haven't been too shocked or disturbed.
It's a very, very funny film.
Why? 'Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this all the time? Why do people not just do this
Rating wise though, I'd have to give this film 3 stars. I did enjoy the film, but it was a bit long in places and 90 minutes could have really worked for me. Do actually still have a long way to go with Yargos and his back catalogue, because his jump into working with English speaking movies has seen a slickness that I'm intrigued to see if he incorporates the same style of direction in his older films that were made in Greece. But yeah, it's Killing of a Sacred Deer next for me.